Hey, joining the show now, he's the mayor of the great city of Danbury. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Cavo.
Hey, Joe.
Good morning, Ethan. Good morning, Lou. How are you today?
Doing fantastic. We're sitting over here, and Ethan and I are discussing topics for the show yesterday and things we might write about, and marijuana was one of the big ones. And I got to thinking about you. Man, you walked into an S storm. You inherited COVID-19.
You really did.
A massive drug law change. And what else? Oh, construction project.
School project.
School project, dirt bikes, ATVs, you name it. You inherited it. I just don't know how you're still standing.
It's because of my large feet.
That could be.
That'll hold you up. So I got to imagine with the recreational marijuana legalization, you are now kind of in shuffle mode, trying to figure out how this applies to us locally, learning about the bill, and also answering a lot of questions. Has that been your experience?
That absolutely has been my experience, and we're working on it every day here in City Hall. In fact, I think today I'm going to announce that I'm going to put forward a task force of city leaders and city council members, and I'm going to give them the job of figuring out this 300-page bill, how it affects Danbury, how we move forward. What do we do, what don't we do? It's interesting. I listened to the news on your radio this morning, and marijuana is now legal in Connecticut as of today, but you can't buy it, you can't sell it.
Right.
And so, you sit there and you say to yourself, how do you do something like that? How do you build something like that? And then, put it out there and say, okay, you can have it, but you can't buy it and you can't sell it.
Right.
And, so there's a lot that has to go into this. We have to figure out a lot of what's going on. One of the things is, the requirement to have a site for people to smoke, marijuana publicly. And, public smoking, is not allowed at public buildings. It's not allowed, state parks. It's not allowed in, restaurants and bars. And so there's just so much to this that, we have to figure out. And so I'm going to create this task force, and I'm going to, put them to work on it, and we'll come up with best practices. In a couple of months, probably start having things come out of it that, we can start giving some solid answers to folks on.
One of the big questions that people are asking is, will there be designated public areas where you can smoke? Because the easiest way to put this is, it seems as if they crafted the bill to say where you are allowed to smoke cigarettes, you're allowed to smoke weed, and I may be oversimplifying it. But will the city designate smoking areas, or are you not there? You're not there yet.
Well, I think, Lou, according to the bill, from what I understand in the bill, I think you have to do that. I think you have to create a designated area or areas, and so that's one of the things that I'm going to ask the task force to take on first. As a charge in their duties, is to figure out where those places are, and then we can get that out to the public.
Yeah, I'm a cigarette smoker. I can tell you that there's, and a lot of people are not anymore and were years ago. I can tell you, if you quit years ago, you'd be surprised to learn there are very few places you can actually have a cigarette without, breaking someone's rule or an ordinance or a law. So,
and then there's a whole thing about children, anyone under 21 in the area. It has to be, we have to really, sit down and get it defined so that we can understand it as well.
So before we move on to the next subject matter, I just have a real quick question. So you're telling me that I can't walk into City Hall with a giant spliff in my mouth, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Nor a cigarette.
All right.
I would encourage people to...
Nor have you been able to do that for some time.
All right. Thank you for clarifying.
I would encourage people, to not be a know-it-all on this subject, because you heard Joe use the word trying to understand the bill. We went through it yesterday, and we were looking at it off the air, and we were having an open discussion about what are we going to be able to smoke a joint on Candlewood Lake if we wanted to. And frankly, after spinning our wheels for a long time, usually we have a lot of know-it-alls shouting out answers, whether they're true or not. They just swear they know the answer. Pat Callahan came on yesterday, Connecticut State Rep out of New Fairfield, and what he laid out was that the bill is a little bit unclear as it relates to waterways and boating. And then I had another guy that insists it's not going to be something that you can do on the lake. So I'm just encouraging everybody to, as you can see, people who deal with this stuff all the time are having difficulty understanding the bill. So don't just swear you know up and down what it is until you've read it.
Right.
All right. And part of what happened was, as the bill has been moving through the legislature, it kept morphing. It kept changing. Things were added. Amendments were proposed. And so it's not like this was something that they took from somewhere and said, this is the bill that they used in Colorado, and so that we could go look at that bill and get a clear understanding. It kept changing right up until the last, I think, when they finally voted it out a couple of weeks ago. And so because of the changing, there's no way to prepare for that because you just don't know what the final bill is going to look like. And again, it's a 300-page plus document, and takes a lot of time to go through it. And it's not like it's the only thing we're doing. There's other work going on in City Hall, and there's other contracts and, paving and school construction. And so, our team of attorneys are busy doing all of those things as well while they're trying to make heads and tails of the marijuana bill. So,
how is the work coming along on the streetscape project? I mean, I know from being out there and looking around, but tell folks how it's going.
I go by every day, and it's moving along very smoothly. They're making great progress. We're very excited about the San Gennaro Festival. That the sidewalk streetscape at that part of Danbury is going to be integral to the San Gennaro Festival, and so it has to be done in order to be able to host the San Gennaro Festival. And we're extremely excited about that coming here in September, and looking forward to seeing the streetscape done there, and then moving to the phase 2 next year, getting Main Street done.
You're a boots on the ground guy. I know this just from getting to know you on the show, but I've actually heard people say they saw you out there looking at the work.
Yeah, I go by everywhere where we're paving. I go by the streetscape project on a regular basis. I just want to make sure that things are working right. I don't butt in. I just sort of observe and just making sure that things are happening. I'm one of those guys that if people are doing their jobs, have at it. I'm not going to interfere, but I just like to know, personally that it's happening and it's making progress. And so,
with this San Gennaro Festival, we're excited about it. We're going crazy talking about this.
September 8th.
Yeah,
September 8th, starting 5:00 at night.
All right.
Right. Now we have a date.
We have a date.
Start date.
A start date, and it's going to be, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's going to start at 5 all 3 nights. It's going to go to 11 all 3 nights.
I have to take off of work, though.
No, you can't take off
I'm
of
going
work.
wild,
you can't
my
take
friend.
off of work.
Except for when we're broadcasting live, which we'll be doing.
You're not taking off from work.
Do you have
Saturday's going to be 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday's going to be 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. So that's the 5 days.
Ethan and I have been part of the planning of large-scale events, and I know how stressful it can be, and I'm sure this is a stressful time with both the Streetscape project and then having that lead up to a major event for the city. So I know I've talked to people that have said, yes, it's exciting, but we're just trying to get the work done. It could be a little stressful. What, if any, projections do you want to give as to how many people you think, maybe an estimate, that the city will see come in during the festival?
I wish I could tell you how many that's going to be. I do know that, Dean in my office has been doing a tremendous job because I keep saying to him, Dean, you're on this. And he's, Mayor, I got it. We're working on it. And so, yesterday we worked out, I believe, the fire department, ambulance, police, people that we're going to have available to, just be there for safety reasons. And so usually when we involve, those type of things, it's going to be a big event.
And nobody's volunteered for the dunk booth. I was talking to Jimmy yesterday. I said, I'll do it, but I can't do it all day. I got to do it for like an hour. And then we got to rotate some other people in that people hate.
Right.
So we got to get me and other people that people hate to be done.
You know what? I'm going to start saving my money right now to buy tickets.
I'm sure you are.
So if you're a local person and people hate you, let's set up this hate list.
Okay, just shut up for a second. I got to ask Joe here. What are the hours on Wednesday? September 8th?
Here we go.
5 to 11.
5 to 11. Same hours for Thursday?
Same hours for Thursday. Same hours for Friday.
Okay. What about Saturday?
Saturday is going to be 1 p.m. to 11.
1 to 11.
And I think we're broadcasting live that day. That's how it is right now.
And Sunday's going to be 1 p.m. till 10.
1 p.m. till 10 p.m.
Do you know how many people are going to run in here and yell at me today for saying that we're going to be broadcasting live when it's not finished yet?
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
It'll be shocking because, that's never happened to you before.
I think John's calling down the hall now. Lord, come down to my office.
Why did you do
Joey
that?
just texted me.
All right.
All right, Joe, we appreciate your time as always. Good luck with the day. We know you're going to meet it with positivity.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Got a busy day here today, busiest one of my week, and looking forward to getting, just working to get stuff done.
Danbury Mayor Joe Cavo, thanks for your time.
Joe.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.